Sunday was Resurrection Sunday. In fact, we're still in the Easter mood. We're excited about the fact that Christ is risen. New opportunities, new hopes. And I thought that today on the AM show, we'll talk about something that's really, really important. And on a holiday like this, we want to have a family conversation on retirement. Let's plan our retirement. You probably have heard it many times, but you haven't necessarily paid attention to it. You haven't thought about your income, when you will be retiring, and how it would look like. How do you even get there if you are nowhere right now? And that's why this conversation is absolutely important. Before I introduce to you my guest, I want us to check out a few of the headlines so that the conversation can come home proper. So this was one of the headlines captured back in 2019. 82% of pensioners earn less than 1,000 Ghana cedis a month. Think about it carefully. If you were not working and you were living on 1,000 Ghana cedis, would that be enough? This is another one. A good percentage of Ghanaians earn 400 Ghana cedis or less. This was the SSNIT boss lamenting, you earn less, and so your pension also tends to be less. If that's your situation, can you manage it? Is there a way to bring it up? And here's a very popular man who we all, watched on television on GTV back then, who also talked about how much he took home as pension. And this is 20,000 after 32 years at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Sometimes when we talk about these things, they look like headlines, but it is our story, our everyday story. So join us. We would allow you to join us on Zoom on this conversation and also via phone. When we get there, I'll let you know. But Managing Director of EcoBank Development Corporation, Mr. Paul Mante, is my guest right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you too.
Yeah. I was just checking out your personal information on your phone, and it says financial independence is possible. So why are you so confident that financial independence? Because I'm asking you this because most of us live beyond what comes in a salary every month. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's my mantra. That's something I committed myself to talking about several years ago, that no matter how low your salary may be, if you are deliberate about becoming financially independent, it is possible. And we've seen this happening over the years for a number of people who believed it. If you don't believe it, you are right. It won't happen to you. If you believe it and you are committed, you are also right. And when we talk about financial independence, we're basically talking about getting to that stage in life where you can sustain your desired lifestyle without salary. Getting to that stage in life, for example, where you have a return on investment higher than what you need for your desired lifestyle. So for example, if you needed 4,000 every month for your desired lifestyle, and you have investment that is generating 10,000 every month, your investment is probably generating more than twice what you need for your desired lifestyle. And I am saying, and I've said it over and over and over, that financial independence is possible.
We will get practical with that.
Yeah.
But before you came in, my colleagues in the studio, my camera technicians and I were talking about rents.
Yeah.
Because on one of our shows yesterday, The Law, there was a rents control public relations officer who was talking about if you're a landlord and you charge, you insist on the 2-3 years, you could go to jail, you could be fined. And we're talking about the practicality of that.
Yeah.
The fact that, well, if you don't want to rent it, you can go away. There's somebody else who is coming.
Yeah.
But most importantly, we're talking about how sometimes you even borrow to rent.
Yeah.
And you're borrowing, you're paying off within a 4 years, and you're going to be renewing your rent, which means you're going to get another top-up loan. Yeah. So how do you get to that point where you're not borrowing to rent? It's a very difficult stage. How do people get out of that?
It's a difficult stage, but it's something you can navigate your way around. So I think that, and I'm happy we are having this discussion this morning, the issue of financial planning in general is a very important topic that is not taught in school. And when it comes to housing is one leg of of financial planning. Retirement is another leg. You see, when it comes to housing, the thing about rental payment is anytime you pay rent, that money is gone for good. It will never come back. It will only give you a temporary place to be sleeping, but that money is gone for good. It's even more complicated when you take a loan to pay for the rent, because sometimes the rent period would expire and you are not done repaying your loan. Then you are in a very complicated situation. My recommendation is, if you can never live in a rented house, if you have to live in a rented house, everybody must have a plan to live in your own house. Whether it's a single room or a chamber and hall, or it's a boys' quarters, to live in your own house. The conversation about housing is another conversation.
I will make a date and maybe probably visit you so that we can talk about that subject.
But you see, the major challenge for a number of people, and I had the same challenge several years ago, we confuse dream house with the first house.
Okay.
So most young people, middle class people who want to build their first house are thinking about a 7-bedroom house, a 5-bedroom house, a 4-bedroom house, a huge story building. You start, you'll never finish. And you see, the complication is that as people are building, they are still paying rent. So you have more like a double slab, where you have money locked up in bricks and mortar that is never completed. And at the same time, you need to look for money to be paying your rent. And don't forget, anytime you start building, until you are done with the building, you don't have value out of the property. It's only when you are done, then you can either live in that property or you can rent it out. Drive through Oyibi to Dodoa, drive through Ibri, drive towards Kasua, drive towards the Aplao Road, all the developing areas, and look at the huge properties that were started 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago that are not completed. This is money locked up in bricks and mortar. Why do we build that 7-bedroom house? So you see, and it's connected to retirement planning. By the time people are done with that 6-bedroom, 5-bedroom house, they are closing into retirement. Remember, anytime your children go to secondary school, they have left home. They are not coming back. Once they go to secondary school, they only come for visits. 1 month, 2 months, and they go back, they go to university, national service, and they are out. And today, how many children are the average couple giving birth to? 2, 3. Those of us who are 4, people question us as if it's a crime to have 4 children. And whether you have 2 or 3 or 4, your children are either going to be boys or girls. 3-bedroom house, the boys are in 1 room, the girls are in 1 room, the parents are in 1 room. It's as simple as that. People will tell you all kinds of stories, visitors. Even those who live in Chamber Hall receive visitors. And they find places to sleep. How much more a 3-bedroom house? The living room is there. If you're an important visitor, we move the children from 1 room and we put you there. The next morning you hear a knock on the door. Uncle, my school uniform is in the room. Nobody will ask you to pack your things and go back to where you came from. My point is, Mama V, we putting unnecessary pressure on ourselves. People who have listened to this conversation, we can have a whole conversation just on housing, who have taken it serious. People come to my office every day. 3 years, 4 years, they are done with their house. You don't need more than 15,000 cedis. You may not even need 12,000 cedis to buy enough blocks for your 3-bedroom house. Half plot, quarter plot. These real estate companies are building on small plots. Why do you need a full plot when you are struggling paying rent? Why can't 2 friends in the office, why can't a brother and sister say, look, let's get 1 plot and share? Somebody I'm comfortable with, being a neighbor. have plots. You can put up a beautiful 3-bedroom house. You have enough space for your children to play and all that. You don't need more than 12,000 cedis to buy blocks for that simple 3-bedroom house. Where you have a challenge will be the foundation. It will knock you off a little bit. And then the roofing. But look, once you put a roof on the house, whether it is plastered and not plastered, painted or not painted, it's a house. You can move in. And I think that there is more dignity in living in your own house that is not plastered. That is your own house, than living in a 5-bedroom air-conditioned house that is a rented house. So it's all in the thinking. Look, this financial independence thing, if you want to take it serious, you need to declare independence. So you are not in competition with anybody. You are not building to impress anybody. It's your life. It's your future. You need to be clear what your path is and just follow it. So the issue of housing, if we pay attention to it, we can deal with it. And I've seen drivers, messengers, who are done with their house.
I see that, listen, we're all interested in this particular conversation, so I'm going to come back to you and so that we can, if you're renting now and your salary is a certain amount and you are taking a loan to rent, how do you even begin to buy a plot where they're talking about 80,000, 100,000 these days? So I'll come back to you on that conversation. Okay. So let's go back to our retirement conversation. I started off with the headlines. What's the state of our retirees these days?
It's nothing to write home about because salary levels are generally low. And people don't get it that your retirement or your pension rather will be a function of your income. So if you are at a place you're getting big bonuses, big allowances, and your salary itself is small, you should know that your pension is going to depend on your salary and not the allowances. You know, and you saw the story in the Business and Financial Times. 52%, when they did that publication, 52% of all the people who were on pension at that time were earning less than 500 cedis a month. 52% were earning less than 500 cedis a month. A good 52%. I saw something last night and I checked with a few friends from SNIT to say, look, confirm for me if this is true. And then I got a confirmation that Mr. Mante is the case. So on the lowest payment on pension at the moment is 300 cedis a month. Imagine somebody who is on pension getting 300 cedis a month. And this 300 cedis, it's about $50 for a whole month. Because it's a function of the salary. The state of people on pension is nothing to write home about. People come to the office every day to complain. People are watching us. There are people who have worked for 15 years, for 20 years. They haven't bothered to go and check whether my employer pays my monthly
Senate contribution.
Senate contribution. It must not come to you as a surprise. But it comes to a number of people as a surprise when they come to the office. I've worked for 27 years as a teacher. Can you believe they only gave me 17,000 cedis? I felt sorry for a teacher who had worked for 27 years, still living in a school bungalow, waiting for lump sum to build her house. The lump sum came, it was 17,000 cedis.
In many cases, you can't even buy your plots.
So you look back, you can be disappointed in yourself. You look back and say, oh, is this worth it? And I've been teaching, and you see your students driving cars, and you see your students doing well, and you can be so disappointed in yourself that it can kill you before your time. But you see, there are people who also plan for their retirement. I joined Ecobank 2007. One of the fine opportunities I had was to deal with people who had planned retirement, who had their investment with Ecobank. And it's so beautiful when you meet these elderly people who have planned for their retirement because they are enjoying life. One asked me to come home. I went home. He had a simple request. My cars are old. Release money, let's buy 2 brand new cars. And
This is somebody on retirement?
Yes. I joined EcoBank in 2007. He was on retirement.
Okay.
And we had this conversation somewhere around 2014 or 2015.
Okay.
So he had been on retirement for several years. He says, look, release money, let's buy 2 brand new cars. One Corolla, one Fortuner. He said the Corolla will be for town riding. The Fortuner will be for the funerals and naming ceremonies. I mean, at his age, he'll go and sit in marriage ceremonies, and you don't go in a saloon car.
That's a very comfortable retirement right there.
Yes. But there is one I took care of who retired recently, December 2017. January 2018, asked me to come home for a conversation. I went home and then he had a simple question. Paul, check for me how much interest, average interest I am making every month. And this is not SNET, this is his own investment on the side that we've been managing. Took my laptop, did a few calculations. He was earning 60,000 every month as interest.
Let me just ask what somebody probably watching us is, oh, maybe the people they're talking about, they are big men already.
Well, he was a manager in his company. He was a manager, but I'll come to that. I'll deal with that. But I've also seen a number of managers. I've seen people who earn more than this gentleman who retire, and within 2 years, 3 years, when you see them, you feel sorry. It's an issue with planning, because we had a plan and he committed to the plan. So 60,000 a month, he says, okay, no problem. If I'm earning 60K a month, why don't you pay 30,000 every month? Just pay 30,000 into my account every month.
Okay.
And I go like, 30,000 for what? You're on retirement. He said, for my enjoyment. He said, Paul, my retirement plan is to spend 1,000 a day. So the 30,000 is for 30 days.
Oh, wow. And how old is this person?
Oh, he retired at 60. He retired in 2017. So he should be about 63, 64 at the moment.
Okay.
But I've also seen people who are not you see, the issue is that the lifestyle is a function of our income. So somebody who was earning 2,000, 3,000 when he was working wouldn't need 30,000 a month. For such a person, if on retirement, he or she can get 3,000, 4,000, it will be higher than the last salary, and we still give the person a comfortable life. So the point I'm making is 30,000 looks high, but whether you are a plumber, you are a technician, you are a teacher, you are a driver, if you pay attention to retirement planning, you can still have something decent that will fit your level.
Okay. We know that for those who retire, they have the pension, as in the SNITS contribution, investments, and then you might have your own retirement plan. So tell us what ideally we should be on as we're actively working now. As we're
working, I mean, if you're in the formal sector, you don't have an option than to be on SNIT. It's mandatory. Even those who are not in the formal sector, I encourage you, go talk to SNIT. If you can do something on the side, please do it. But you see, your retirement is your responsibility. So whether SNIT or without SNIT, it's important for you yourself to see into your future. And then ask yourself, what kind of old age do I want to have? What kind of old age do I want to have? Because you see, personal financial planning is important towards retirement. Because one, the low monthly pension, when we've talked about it, when 52% are earning less than 500 cedis. Two, if you plan, you can have a great retirement. And I will tell you how. Number three, we are living longer than 30 years ago, 50 years ago, because of medicine and research and all that. We are living longer. Can you imagine retiring at 60 and dying at 95? That is the next 35 years of your life without income. So we are living longer, and it makes it important to plan for retirement, for escalating health costs during retirement. Because when you retire, when you are old, rather, you are likely to have more medical bills, and it's important that you plan for that. The next point is you may not have the energy to work, even if you want to work. You may want to work, but you won't have the energy to work during retirement. Or you may have the energy, but you'll not find a job during retirement. Another important reason why people need to take this serious is that you cannot depend on your children. A lot of parents see their children as their retirement investment. And don't get me wrong, we encourage children to take care of their parents. I do that. It's a blessing to take care of your parents. But the truth is that there are a number of young people who are themselves struggling. The guy has taken a loan to pay the rent. If he's struggling to pay the school fees, and now the old man, the old lady who is on retirement becomes another burden. So some genuinely may want to help, but they cannot help. And another hard truth is that we've been kind of westernized. So the people focus more on nuclear family rather than the extended family, unlike some 50 years ago. So my point is that your children are your responsibility. Take care of the children, but your retirement is your responsibility. You got to plan for your retirement, you know, and you need to know that prices of goods and services will keep increasing, inflation. So you need to plan into the future. So if you are in the formal sector, you are in SSNIT. If you are not in the formal sector, your old age must still matter to you. Even if you are on SSNIT, it may not meet your expectation.
You are using may, it will not. Please. That's why we're having this conversation.
It may not. Because, Mama, there are people, those who are on high salary. There are, I mean, I have clients, I manage finance. There are people who are on pension who get decent
So they're
money.
Satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Well, I know that most of us, myself and my friends, that will not be enough.
And me,
so we need we need your support.
So you need to plan for retirement. And you see, if you came to us that I want to do retirement planning, as financial planners, we don't charge money for doing that. The thing is that the younger you are, the easier it becomes.
Okay.
Because you need time to plan for retirement. So if you came to us that I want to plan for my retirement, there is a process we take you through. Let me give you an example. Somebody who is 45 years, who want to retire at age 60.
You've got 15 years.
You got 15 years. We need to make provision for a certain life expectancy. So let's say we make provision for 85 years.
Okay.
We will make a few assumptions. Long-term interest rate after retirement of 14%. Another assumption is that long-term expected inflation of 10%. And then the important question comes, if you are retiring today, how much money will give you a comfortable life? If you were retiring today, because the inflation we are using will give you the future equivalent of that amount, because we know a lot of people cannot think the next 15 years, how much I will need when I'm 60. So the question would rather be, if you were retiring today, how much will give you a comfortable life? Let's say this person says 10%, 4,000 cedis.
Okay.
4,000. The model, our financial, we call it a financial analysis tool, would get us the future value of your 4,000 using the 10% inflation. What you will need at age 60. And then let's say we'll make provision for increment of 10% every year from age 60 till your age 85. Then another important question comes, how much do you have today? Somebody says, look, I don't have anything. I want to start. And then the last assumption is that annual interest rate is 18%, compound, or 17% compounded quarterly. For the 4,000 in 15 years' time, the equivalent is going to be 16,709 cedis.
Okay.
Using the inflation of 10%, 16,709 cedis. And this is going to increase by 10% every year from 60 to 85 years. How much does this person need to commit every month? 3,990 cedis.
Today?
Yes. So then we'll have to go back and ask the question, can you do this? Most people will say, no, I cannot, because it's 3,990 cedis. But it's because of the 4,000 figure we are using. Then we probably may have to look at the 4,000, or a few other people will say, look, I have a car or two, I have a plot here. Let me sell and see what kind of lump sum I can put in. Because if you have the lump sum, it reduces the monthly commitment if you have something to put down today. But you see, these 3,990 cedis, If this person delays for another 5 years, it will be 50. And the figure will now move to a little over 9,000 cedis.
Oh, wow.
So the closer you get to 60, the more the burden becomes. Now, let's go back and let me only change the age.
You used 45.
I used 45. I'm going to change it to 30.
Okay.
And let's keep this figure in mind, the 16,709. So let's say 17,000. Let's round it
In
up.
15 years.
In 15 years. Let's use 17K. Assuming that this person had been 30 years. So there are two important figures we are keeping in mind, the 17,000 and the monthly commitment of 3,990. So let's round that up to 4,000. So monthly commitment 4,000, and it will give us 17,000 a month. If this person had been just a bit younger, 30 years, let's see what changes. Every other thing remaining the same. Now the monthly benefit increases to 69,000 because now it's 4,000 equivalent in 30 years time and not 15 years.
Okay.
So this person is going to draw 69,000 every month, increasing by 10% every year. How much does he need to commit? Instead of the 4,000, now it's 1,400.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Now it's 1,400 because he's younger or she is younger. If this person who is 30 years, assuming that this person had a lump sum of 50K today, just for the purposes of our conversation, 50K, that Paul, I'm locking this up into my retirement, then the monthly commitment reduces to 771 cedis a month. And this person can draw 69,000 cedis a month at age 60, increasing by 10% every year till age 85. Retirement planning, financial planning must be part of orientation for employees, new highs. Because the younger you are, the easier. And where I said I see income levels, 4,000 is a lot of money. A lot of people don't earn 4,000 cedis. A lot of people don't earn 4,000 cedis. So if this person who is 30 years, assuming he didn't even have anything, and said, look, use 2,000. If 52% of people on pension are getting less than 500 cedis a month, you use 2,000 for me for my retirement. 2,000. At age 60, in 30 years, he would take 34,899 cedis a month, increasing by 10% every year. How much does he need to commit? 722 cedis with no lump sum.
Wow.
Doesn't have anything. I'm starting just at age 30. Maybe the last assumption, assuming this person had a 50,000 again, and said, look, use the 2,000 on a monthly basis. 50K, this person will still be drawing the 34,000 a month, but how much does he need to commit every month? 49 cedis.
Does this depend on where you invest is also another question, but I want us to, and I don't want it to just be me, I want us, our viewers to join in this conversation. So if you're fascinated by these figures and analysis, you have questions on your mind, you want to know how to begin the retirement planning, please join our Zoom conversation now. So we have or you can give us a call. Alternatively, you can join us via Zoom using the ID and the password that you see on your screen. We will be taking some comments shortly, but I asked the question of, is this dependent on the kind of investment that is made?
Yes, so what we did was to use a certain, we use 17% returns. And I think that 17% is a conservative return.
Okay.
If you pick even treasury bill rate over the years, at the moment, because we're looking long term, if you use government treasury bond, 17% is on the low. Government issue a 6-year bond a month or two ago at 19.25%.
Which is higher.
Which is higher than that. A few bonds have happened recently at a little over 18%. So the 17% we use is quite conservative.
Okay.
I have a fund, the EDC Fixed Income Fund, which happens to be the biggest fund in Ghana at the moment. The return over the last 7 years or so, the average is about 21%.
Okay.
So the 17% is a conservative. We are not picking any product We are just using a conservative interest rate, assuming you can get that on average over the period. Yeah, so that's what we did.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's try and pick some phone calls. Amidu is in Obuase. After Amidu, Mamiesi, I'll come to you. Amidu first. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, hi. Very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, great. Let's hear you.
There are 3 things affecting us workers in Ghana. First of all, you see, there's outsourcing to the companies. If I'm employed, so the company pay me direct. They will outsource to another company to pay me. And if I'm receiving 4,000, I'll end up receiving 3,000. And that is one affecting us to plan on our retirement. The outsourcing is one major problem.
Okay. So listen. Go ahead.
And the second one is the contract basis. Instead of them taking you on permanent 6 months, they keep on renewing. Well, and then you can't ask for any payment increment. They know that your contract will expire. They will renew. You can't ask for any increment. You see. Okay. So those 2 things are affecting us properly. And the third one is the tier 2 people. There are so many insurance companies around. You don't know which one to trust. And every day tier 2, and sometimes you end up paying the tier 2 that you can't even trace your money. Okay. So those 3 things are affecting us.
Okay, so what is your challenge with the 6 month contract renewal, where you don't know whether it's going to be renewed or not? What's your challenge? Do you have a challenge with, because of that, you can't save?
The challenge, for instance, if I take 300 Ghana cedi a month, because they knew that they can't, they're going to do any increment on your salary. You understand? They will earn it, and they still give you another 300 Ghana cedis. And already living in Ghana, everything is increased by day by day. And you are relying on the 300 Ghana cedi every 6 months. So how can you do anything? Because they knew very well that the companies very well, if they keep you, you ask for payment increment.
Okay.
But because of that, they want to play smart. So just the contract smart.
I get you. Thank you, Amidu. Let's speak to Mami. Mami Esi is in Oyarifa. Good morning, Mami Esi.
Good morning.
Yes, hi. Thanks for joining us. Let's hear you.
Thank you, too. I'm so amazed about this conversation, because when we talk about retirement, not all of us are interested, because when we see what they are coming forward, but that age, it's like, retirement is far-fetched. But so let's just say, hopefully November, I'm doing 9 years, and I want to plan my retirement. And I heard Mr. Manton saying that even if you don't have anything, you can start as low as 742 cedis. So I wanted to find out, okay, so which account do we use that for the
No, please come again, Mami Esi. The question again.
Please, I was asking that which bank account we use for the retirement, like starting as low as 742. Is it a normal savings account or an investment account that will help us to get that amount at the end of our 60 years?
Okay, all right. Noted. He is going to answer that. Karim is in Kumasi. Karim?
Good morning.
Good morning, Karim. Let's hear you.
I work with a security company, with the security services, and then we are on Cap 30. And then we take a lump sum at the end of the year or retirement. So, and then you then take your retirement benefit, which is around, if you are in current retirement, you are around like 1,200 or stuff. But you take a line sum of what you take. And then I've worked with a private company before joining the Senate. So I was on Senate. Now the law says that you can't be on Senate and still be on Cap 30. So what do we do?
Okay. All right. We'll have that answered. But let's go to Zoom. Let's pick a few of the comments and questions. Opoku, good morning. Kindly unmute and let's hear you.
Good morning.
Yes, great.
Amavi.
Yes, Opoku.
Yeah, the problem is for the public sector now, the money we are taking is very small. And when you wait out to retirement, you can't save. You have to pay rent, you have to pay school fees, you have to pay, etc.
Oh, I think we've lost the audio there. We can hear you. Is it that he muted?
So you have.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying that because of how the public service work is now, no, like you'll be paying rent, you'll be paying school fees, you won't have anything to save. And like maybe you can put at least this for retirement or anything, but you can't have anything to put to save. So it's very difficult for you to save. And we are praying that maybe the government will increase the salary for public sector or increase our mortgage for public service workers.
Okay,
to be paying them at least every month as a rent, as they do in America and etc.
Okay, I see the big dream. Thank you very much. Let's speak to Seydou. Good morning, Seydou. Seydou, kindly unmute and talk to me.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Let's hear you.
What I want to say is about Senate. I think Senate should not only be about retirement. When you are faced with pandemic like COVID, there should be a way that you can get your contribution in order to push yourself. We know that a lot of people have lost their jobs. They have chunk of money lying down in their Senate account, yet they can't have access to it. I think it is important that we put up that measure so that when we are faced with challenges, you can have access to your contribution.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Seydou. I'm not sure Mr. Mante would recommend that, but we've heard. I'll come back to Zoom. I want us to tackle some of the comments that have come through. So please, let's hear you address these.
Thank you. So Amidu talks about 6 months contract and the salary not being enough, and I think I'll connect that to Opoku, who joined us on Zoom, who said for public sector workers, the salary is so small that you cannot invest. So for Amidu and Opoku, I understand that the salary is not enough. But you see, there is a law called the Parkinson Law. The Parkinson Law explains why most people retire poor, even after earning substantial income through their working years. The Parkinson Law states that no matter how much people earn, they will always adjust their lifestyle to match their salary. So our salary is increasing. People are adjusting lifestyle to match their salary. So everybody is complaining that their salary is not enough. And I tested this in a session where I asked, how many of you are not saving and investing because the salary is not enough? All the hands went up. Then I did a follow-up question. How many of you believe that if your salary is doubled, it will be enough? Now you can save and then you invest. All the hands went up. I called 10 people at random and I gave them pieces of paper. Each of you, let me know your current salary. The salary that you believe that if it is doubled, now it will be enough. Let me know the current salary. Among the 10, the lowest income earner was on 350 cedis a month. 350 Ghana cedis a month. For some reason, this person believed that if the 350 a month is doubled to 700, now it's going to be enough. And he or she can now save and then invest. But right among the 10 of them, there was one on the salary of 5,000 cedis. So the guy earning 350 says, if it is doubled, it will be enough. But the guy earning 5,000 cedis says, it's not enough for me. If it is doubled, it's going to be enough. Among the 10, one was on a salary of 11,000 a month. The highest income earner among the 10, and I call them at random, the highest income earner was on a salary of 20,000 a month. The guy earning 350 says it's not enough. The guy earning 20,000 cedis says it's not enough. When it is doubled, it's going to be enough. So Amidu and Opoku, I understand you, but you got to start where you are. No matter how low you think your salary is, somebody earns less than your salary. So I strongly recommend what I call the 10-20-70 principle. 10-20-70. Mm-hmm. If you believe in tithing, you pay your tithe of 10%. If you don't even believe in tithing, I believe in giving back, charity, you can still use 10% as giving back. Okay. But the minimum of 20% of whatever you earn must go into investment. Minimum of 20% of whatever you earn, the minimum. Anybody who can put 20% away can have a decent old age. Because the salary is not enough. But you see, this quotation, people don't like it too, but let me say it. See, Mama V, salary is the medicine for managing poverty. Okay. Salary does not cure poverty. only a business or an investment will cure poverty. Not all of us can run a business, but everybody can invest. So you got to think. Once you put all your hope, I am waiting, my employer is government. Yes, we encourage them to step in, but you got to take up the responsibility and say, look, it's my future. It's my future. So if whatever I need to do, and your salary must not be equal to your income. Your salary must be one source of income. Never use your employer's time to do your private stuff. But if there is something else you can do in addition to what you are doing, the 8 to 5, why don't you do it? One doctor who sat in my session about 3 years, 4 years ago, he's a medical doctor. He's into photography today. He's in the hospital to take care of patients. Weekends when he's not in the hospital, he's taking photographs at the wedding, making some side issue. One friend who is a banker is a DJ. He's a banker and he's a DJ. Your salary must not be equal to your income. As long as we keep waiting on some employer to perform some magic, it may not happen.
Okay.
If it happens, good. Now, Mamiesi asks about the 700, which savings account. 700 is even high. There are products. For example, I have the EDC fixed income fund. The minimum you need to start with is 50 Ghana cedi. 50 Ghana cedis, and you can start. And it gives you that flexibility where you can add money anytime and take money out anytime you wish. So you can use Momo. Once you do the initial 50 cedis, anytime you want to top up, the minimum is 20 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
So once you start, you have some 30 Ghana Momo. You can push, and it goes into investment. We need to take this thing serious. It's our future. You know, now when it comes to Karim, who is on CAP 30 and on
has contributed to SNIT before.
Yeah, go to SNIT and have a conversation with SNIT.
Okay.
There will be a way out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have lots of people also joining. So John is in Bolga. Let me take 2 phone calls. I'll go back to Zoom. John, good morning. Hello, John.
Hello.
Yes, John, you're on air. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm interested in whatever is taking place on the TV. But I want to ask the resource person. Yeah, good morning.
John, kindly turn down the volume on your television set, okay? So whilst you do that...
I wanted to ask the resource person whether he has taken into consideration devaluation. Because the current devaluation...
Oh, you have to turn down the volume on your television set. Otherwise, we can have a smooth conversation. Benonin is in Kweje. Good morning. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You're on air.
Hello?
Hello? Benonin, we can hear you. Let's go.
This is Benonin Tony Amakoji.
Okay, great. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, Mama Bay. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning, Mama B. This.
Benonin, okay, when you call us, I'm afraid we have to let go because you have to turn down the volume on your television, okay? Otherwise, we'll have the delay and you speak a bit and then you come back and it won't make the conversation beautiful. So I'm afraid you have to call back again. Let's go to Zoom. Galaxy, good morning. Galaxy, kindly unmute and talk to me. I'm not sure Galaxy is your name. I'm just using your device to identify you. Okay, can we go to Bob? Bob, good morning. Kindly unmute if you can hear me.
Hello, good morning, Mama V.
Good morning. Yes,
Please,
Bob.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for asking.
It's an opportunity for us to hear about SNIT discussion. Frankly speaking, most of us are not well educated about this whole SNIT issue. I think SNIT need to do a very wide conversation with especially the teaching fraternity. I don't understand the deduction, the tier issues.
Okay.
I wish SNIT comes down to our workplaces, discuss with us if there is a need for us to increase our SNIT contribution so that our pensions will be better for us.
Okay, so
because
Bob,
I, for instance, my mother is a pensioner teacher. Anytime she goes to the bank for her money, she comes home very angry. So it scares me. It scares me really. So I wish they comes down to explain things to us.
But Bob, apart from the tier, do you have any other investments?
Not at all.
Okay.
Because we don't have the training, we don't have the education on all these things.
Okay. All right.
For instance,
Bob,
I'm a very young teacher. I need training and education on all these things.
Okay, that's the reason we're having this conversation.
Bob, let me just ask a question. Bob, how old are you?
I am 30.
30, good. Let me ask a follow-up and then just something for you. Assuming you needed to be investing towards your old age, how much do you think you can put away every month?
I can put 300 to 500 every month.
So let's use average of 400, between the 300 and 500. Mamavi, if we use the 18%, if we use 18% compounded quarterly, by the time Bob is 60, Bob has 5.2 million cedis.
Oh.
With a 400 cedis.
See, Christopher said, huh? And this is aside his tier.
Yes, it's aside the tier.
Oh, wow.
This is for himself.
Amazing.
It's not rocket science. Just that the value of the 5.2 million in 30 years will not be the same as the value of 5.2 million today. Because of inflation. But it's still going to be decent money. And Bob is talking about 400 cedis every month. Let me just add one scenario and then you can go back to your course.
Okay. I'll go to Reverend Eddie.
Assuming Bob had 10,000 cedis today and said, I'm doing 400 in addition every month. 30 years using the 18%, Bob has 7.1 million cedis.
Incredible. Wow. I think that in the end, you know, we have to resolve the issue of, so who do you talk to? I guess that's the problem. How do you begin the conversation? Let's go to Reverend Eddie on Zoom. Rev, good morning. Thank you for holding. Please unmute.
Good evening, Mama V.
Oh,
I'm
hello.
from far away, Osaka, Japan.
Okay, all right. So good evening there, good morning here.
I just got him from town and I caught the tail end of your discussion.
Okay.
And I was wondering, for those of us living outside the country, in Osaka, Japan, for example, any advice for us? Because for myself, for example, I've crossed that golden line. I have about 10 years to go. And any advice for those of us who want to come back home after retirement? Any advice? Because I didn't catch everything that the resource person said. Okay,
great. Do you have any retirement packages ongoing already? I mean, do you have any investments?
I currently pay my SNIT back home. My mother I sent it to my mother. She sticks it to SNIT for me every month. That is what I currently have.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not too sure, no.
Okay, Mr. Monte, is that something you want to ask us, follow up?
You need to know if the contribution is going in. I'm quite impressed with him to be far away in Japan and still be contributing to SNIT, making sure that it's done every month. But I will encourage him to get a statement so that he's sure everything is right.
I actually check every month when it's paid. I check online to see whether it's paid, and it is paid.
Impressive. We are on track, Reverend. We are on track.
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, but I thought the whole idea is also to have a plan B.
Yes.
If SNIT may not necessarily be enough. So I guess, Reverend, even though we're leaving you now, still continue listening, because at the tail end, before we say goodbye, we're going to share a few things in terms of what else you can do. But let's go to the phones. Mohammed is in Laboni. Mohammed, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
I want you to help me through your consultant. Assuming I earn 1,200 a month. I'm 31 years now. Aside the SNIT, Tier 1 and Tier 2, I want to commit 20% of that 1,200. I just want a vehicle, an investment vehicle. From his perspective, where I can put the 20% of 1,200 into,
okay,
towards my retirement.
Very good question. That's the whole idea. So just keep watching. Kofi is in Cape Coast. I guess this will be my last phone call. Kofi, good morning.
Good morning, Mama V.
Yes,
I'm very
Kofi.
fortunate to be the last person. In fact, I've been on the line for more than, I've been trying, it is not getting through.
Oh, I am so sorry, but I'm happy that you finally got through.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. My question is, I like the financial advisor. You see, it's a very good thing. I think this should be added to our education system, even in the training colleges, even all the institutions. So that, because I know a lot of teachers, Mama V, they mismanage their funds. That's why a lot of teachers normally call, we don't have money. Because as soon as a teacher is being introduced into the education system, they always go in for loans to do whatever they want. I'm not saying the loans are not good, but they need financial advisors in their schools, or it should be part of their curriculum when they are finishing training college or every institution. My last question is, Maravi, I want to ask the financial advisor, you see, the life is full of risk. I can make a commitment that, I want to contribute 400 Ghana cedis, 500 Ghana cedis, let's say every monthly, maybe a house of initial sum assured of maybe 20,000, and I'm contributing this 500 Ghana cedis. Sickness is part of human life. Accident is part of human life. So I just want him to give me brief knowledge about this one too, because when you are planning, you don't factor all this one into it. It can result to different things, or it can destroy the entire plan of this. So I want your man to give me some advice on that too.
Okay, here. As for this, your phone call is like a fully loaded pizza. Thank you, Kofi. That's where we have to end the phone calls, I'm afraid, because of time. But maybe one more Zoom comments. Somebody who's been holding for a while. Galaxy, kindly unmute and talk to us. That isn't your name, but that's your device.
All right, thank you. That's my device.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Let's hear you.
All right. I'm there to get glued to something there on the screen. That how do you know you're on your right track? Yeah. Then here comes to when I want to do this an investment. After I do the accumulation of savings, how more will you know that this kind of enough saving will cater for the investment I'm having in place?
Okay.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get him? Okay. How much would be enough? How would you know that what you have saved will be enough to take care of you in the future? Is that a question?
Yes, that is it. Because it's never enough. It's never enough.
It is never enough, huh? Okay, we'll see. But thank you very much for that as well. I want us to answer that, but also box everything together as, we bring this conversation to a close.
Okay, so how much is enough?
It's coming from a point where he says it is never enough.
Yes, it's never enough when you don't have an end in sight. But when you have planned, for example, the calculations we have done, and you know that, look, if I make 1 million cedis, 500,000 cedis, 2 million cedis, that becomes your target. Because if you don't have a target, if you don't declare independence and you are just in a race trying to do better than Mama V, you keep chasing the wind and you will never catch it. So it's important to be clear where you want to get to and work towards getting there. But I like the point the other caller made on the education bit, that it should be added to the education in the training colleges, and I think the universities and companies need to take this serious. Because you see, if somebody works with your company for 20 years, 30 years, they retire and their situation looks so bad, people will still refer to your company and say, oh, this lady, this gentleman worked with this company for 30 years, now look at him. But the company may have done their part. So companies have a duty to also look at helping employees with financial planning. We need to have these sessions for employees so that we will equip them, because some waste money. If they don't know, they don't know. They need help, and we need to help them. So the education bit is very important. Let me use opportunity. Those who want to take this to another level, I am sure this video will be available But if you went on YouTube, I have so many videos on these subject matters. You can subscribe to my channel. You'll find a lot of videos, a lot. Until the education is done in the classroom, let's take up the responsibility and educate ourselves.
Great.
Yeah.
And if you would make time for me, maybe we can also break down this conversation today, where we take it bit by bit, in a form of a series, so that our viewers can also be following. I see that there are lots of people who have joined the Zoom right now, and I'm afraid that we can't take any more comments, but we can certainly bring series of this conversation.
Mama V, as long as you are available. This thing we are doing, we are helping people. We are seated here, we cannot tell which life we are saving. We cannot tell who will have a decent retirement in the next 20 years, 30 years because of this conversation we had.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a calling. I mean, so as long as you are available, we can make time and help the viewers.
Okay. Well, thanks to all those who connected with us and who are still connecting with us. All of you, I see you all on Zoom. Unfortunately, we can't take any more comments, but I guess we can end with, they can, try and get your channel and subscribe.
Yes.
But in the meantime, who do they talk to? Like, what do you do?
Talk to a financial advisor, and we don't charge money. Of course, if you want to talk to us, we are happy to help you. You can call the EDC or EcoBank contact center numbers, and it's free if you need advice. Or you can just walk into our office, drive to our office, and say, I want to plan for my retirement. We don't charge a pesewa to do this.
Okay.
When you take the advice, you decide where you want to go and invest. So you can call this number 0302634165, 0302634165, and you can call or WhatsApp this number 0595235065. You can call or WhatsApp this number 0595235065, or you can come to our offices. If it's just investment, you can walk into any EcoBank branch, say I want to start an EDC investment. But if you need advice, come to EDC. We are in the EcoBank.
That's also free.
It's free. We don't charge money for doing this. Or go to any financial advisor. They shouldn't charge you money for providing you this advice.
Okay, great. Well, I thank you. There's a personal friend of mine who apparently has come into contact with you. He says that you are a complete institution. He got to know you when he signed up for the EDC's iFund, which is now Ghana Balance Fund Limited. And he says that you're indeed a financial guru. You're worth listening to and very practical. So listen, we're going to be getting very practical in the coming days with this conversation. There's another person who says that assuming I take 1,500 a month and you save in a different bank and want to have this retirement plan without paying any large sum for the start, how much will they be deducting? So these are very practical questions, and hopefully Mr. Mante can give us a bit of his time so that we can be sharing these with you. Is there a response to this 1,500 right now?
Yes, I recommend a minimum of 20%. 20% of 1,500 is 300 cedis a month.
Okay.
If you don't have the discipline, just put yourself on autopilot. Put this on standing order.
Okay.
So when the money drops in your account, you know you are paid on the 24th. You put a standing order for 25th or 26th. So once it hits your account, it leaves. You will not die. You will survive. You will not die.
Thank you for this. My standing order will go to the savings, and sometimes I go and withdraw. So I guess the advice is it should go directly to the investment. So you don't have an opportunity to go and withdraw.
Please, it's our future, and we need to take this serious.
Okay.
We need to take this extremely serious. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mante. I'm super grateful.
Thank you
for your time, and I'm happy that we're doing this on a holiday when many more people are home, and this is certainly helpful. Well, so until he comes again, breaking down further this conversation, I guess this is where we have to leave it. Up next, he is a very young sensation. He started receiving nominations already. He's Che Mensah, and he will be singing. We will have a beautiful conversation. Stay with us.